And there is the 1-2 combo. Hello, Will here, and today we are in Skyrim, and we will be checking out 2 mods. We've got one small little race mod, and we have another one which apparently will allow you to build your own Dwarven city. But first off, we're going to start with the race mod. Now this new race mod is a mod I created for myself. Well, not for myself, but you know, it's my own creation. And this will add in the Tetra race. Now, as you can see on my screen, I got two different ones. I got Tetra number 1, and then Tetra number 2, which is down here. Now, the new one will have your character looking like this from the beginning. The second one is from another mod of mine called the Tyranny Orbis, where I originally put the Tetra in. But this Tetra race mod is a standalone mod, so you don't need to download a whole another mod to get the actual race. This allows you to get the race without the big ass dungeon, basically. So let's have a look. So the Tetra. The Tetra are a race believed to have disappeared hundreds of years ago. It is said in legends that the Tetra have their origins with the Bella and Mara as the Divine's personal guard and elite force. The Tetra was said to be able to channel the powers of Furious through themselves in battle in the art of unarmed combat. Alright, so you get a little bit of a description on there. Now, I think there might still be 1 or 2 sliders that don't work with this, so obviously you can have it either has it a male or female, or you could, select whichever one you want. For the purposes, I'm going to go for female. Now, there are no presets. Skin tone, obviously, yeah, skin tone. La la, weight, yeah, la la, just like normal. Head, you can obviously starting the complexion up here, but we're going to move it down and we're going to put it there. So you get, obviously the dirt still works, dirt color works. Of course, if you decide to actually have dirt, we're not going to. Scars, you can give yourself some scars. So we are going to give myself, let's give myself a scar there. Why not? Now, war paints. You do get a couple of new wall paints that you can put on. So, for example, you might get some wall paints that you don't normally. Now, this Tetra race is based off Breton. They are based off the Breton race, so they will have like all the Breton wall paints, and they may have some wall paints from other races as well. So, for example, you got these ones here, these ones. So, this one, and this one are technically Forsworn, so you couldn't normally you couldn't get to wear them, but this Tetra one allows you to wear it. And then we also get this one on the side here, which this one I don't actually know where it's from. I have no idea, but obviously you can still change its colour if you want to. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna give it that one. Obviously you can do stuff like adjusting everything here, so nose type, you can change the nose type and everything, blah 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 sort of thing. Either go for absolutely nothing wrong at all, or severe sunburn. Eye shapes. Now you do get options for some of the eye shapes you wouldn't normally get, as some of them are the elven eye shapes, like these ones here. I think these just normally are just elven eye shapes, but you get the ability to use these ones if you want as well. So we're going to give her some nice big eyes. And then eye colours, standard eye colours, apart from one at the end. You can give them violet coloured eyes. So we're going to give her violet coloured eyes. Now, lip colour, there are some new lip colours, but they only work on the female. So as you can see, I think bright red might have been added by somebody else, I'm not 100% sure. But we have, we've got purple. We got like a sort of like a steel kind of colour, more of a sort of like a dark orangey ginger, teal, a slightly more brighter purple, and a sort of like a yellowy colour. So we're gonna give what should we give her? We'll give her some purple lips. There you go, some purple lips. And then hair. So hair is what you would normally get with the races. I think there are some extra ones, but like this one. It's normally orc, but it is a bit funky on it, so I'm not going to worry about that one. And we're going to just go and give her And we'll get rid of this one. There you go. Bada bing. And then hair colours. There are a new section of hair colours. Now the hair colours do work on male and female. So hair colours work on both, whereas the lip colours only works on the female. And you can see we got blue. And you got sort of like a brightish pink. Sort of more of a purpley colour, a red, more prominent red at least anyway, and teal. So teal coloured, red coloured, sort of like a purpley kind of coloured, pink and blue. We're gonna go for purple. So everything about this person is purple. It's all purple. Alright, so here we are in the middle of nowhere. I literally just fell down the mountain. But that's just due to the mod I got to start the game with. And I can see, here we are. Here is Pre, the new character. Yeah, you know, everything else is the same, you know, all the creation and stuff like that. But what else can the Tetra do? So, Tetra, for example. So, the Tetra have increased unarmed combat, so they can do more damage with their fists. Normally, each race base damage with fists is normally 4 points. With Tetra, it's 50. They do 50 points of damage with a single punch. But also they get a boost to that due to their ability, which their abilities and spells and powers we will get through to shortly. But what, you know, so yeah, you can go around punching people, just give them a punch on the old noggin. But the Tetra are a bit more increased in that aspect. So for example, if we were to swing my right hand, there is no sound, but you might have saw. We'll do it up here, but it's a bit more thing. Right hand, got a nice spike. So you know, use right hand, you automatically throw a nice spike as well as punch the person at the same time. So you're doing 2 lots of damage: the base damage of the punch and the base damage of the ice spike. Now if you do left hand, get a lightning bolt. Little static charge of electricity. There you go, look at that. Little bit of electricity. Again, that works in the same way. You do 1 punch, does the base damage of the fist and the base damage of the lightning bolt. So what happens if you were to, say, do a power attack? Well, a power attack with the right hand actually throws out a paralysis spell. So you can punch and paralyze at the same time. While if you were to power attack with your left hand, what that does is does the force push. But what happens if you were getting absolutely bombarded with enemies, completely surrounded on all sides with no way of escape? Well, you can just do a 1-2 combo. And there is the 1-2 combo. Now what that does, obviously it does the 1-2 combo of the fist, so basically with the fist there you're at least doing 150 points worth of damage just with your fists alone, but that might be multiplied on the premise of power attack. But also you're doing firestorm damage 3 times in a row at the same time. So this is a very deadly move. It's a very deadly move in any situation that you're in. So that's what you can do with your fists. Now it does state in the description, but I'll say here as well, is that with these magic effects on the Tetra's fists, you can't partake in any brawls. If you do partake in a brawl with another NPC, whether it be, you know, because of something to do with the companions, or if it's for example Uthgard the Unbroken in the Banned Mare and Whiterun, if you want to get her as a hireling, what you have to do first is beat her in a brawl. Now the problem is, with the rules of the brawl, is that you can't use any magic, it's only fists. So unfortunately, you know, brawl-wise, you won't be able to do anything with the Tetra, because you'll always violate the rule of the brawl. That's the downside with the Tetra. But right, so that's the general gist of their fists sorted out. Let's have a look at their skills. So, they have a slight increase in destruction, restoration, heavy armor, one-handed, and archery. So in some combat situations, so archery, one-handed, heavy armor, restoration, and destruction is where they have increased levels of skill. They also have a slightly increased magicka by 50 points. They have double the starting health and starting stamina than the standard race. Also, all of their regens for the regen for the magicka, for the health, for the stamina are also doubled from the base race standard. So they regenerate health faster, they regenerate stamina faster, and they regenerate magicka faster. So what about their magics? So if we go into destruction, we have spell number 1, Dibella's Burning Beauty. Costs 61 points. Now it says per second, but that's just a bug for some reason. It's not 61 points per second, it's 61 points to cast once. Because, as you'll see, it's just a fireball. But you don't actually have to hold, it's not a concentration spell. You fire it once and that's it. Exactly what it says per second, I don't know, but you can ignore that little tiny bug error within the spell creation, as it's just a one-off 61 points of magicka cost. But what does it do? A blast of fire that does 75 points of damage. Targets on fire take extra damage. Targets that fail to resist are paralyzed for 5 seconds. So now you'll have this from the start, because as you saw, I've started this from the beginning, and I've already got it. So that's a very, it's a very strong starting spell. Very good mid-game spell, and probably not too bad in late game either, because you might be able to increase the amount of fire damage it does with like the augmented flame perks. So it's a spell that actually probably stays relatively relevant throughout most of your playthrough. Now powers, we have Mara's Kiss. Both of these are lesser powers, so they're both equipped in the voice slot. So you'll just press basically the R1 button or whatever you use to use like your shouts and your powers and stuff like that. And these aren't once a day. It's not like you use it once and then you have to wait 24 hours in game to when you can use it again. You can use these as many times as you like. There's no restriction on the usage, though Mara's Kiss does cost 100 points of magicka to cast. But I gotta put a restriction on it somewhere with it. But increases your health by 100 points. Now it doesn't say it for some reason. I think it's just a bug in the description of it for the in the actual creation kit. But when it says about increasing your health by 100 points, it increases your health by 100 points for 45 seconds. So for 45 seconds, you'll go from 200 points of health to 300 points of health, and you'll have that for 45 seconds. Heals everyone close to the cast of 50 points. I think I've set that to be in like a 30-foot radius, so people who are relatively close by, who are on your side, will get healed by 50 points, which isn't too bad. And heals you for 100 points. So it heals you for half of your starting health. So really, all in all, not that bad. And yeah, you only get to use it once. You can't use it once and then use it again immediately after, because you won't have enough magicka. But once you get to like 200 magicka, 250 magicka, you can use it, get a lot of damage done, use it again, bada bing bada boom. And that will be useful into the late game as well. Maybe not so much the heals everyone close to the caster by 50 points might not be so useful in the late game, but the increased health and the healing factor of the 100 points will probably be quite useful in the late game. And then we have Pulse Rush. You take half damage and do double damage for 30 seconds. Stamina regenerates 150% faster. So basically for 1 minute, you take half the damage that you get taken in, so bada bing bada boom. But what's the more interesting one is the double damage. So the base damage for the Tetra's fists is 50 points. So now you double that, it's 100 points per fist for 1 minute. 100 points of damage per punch for 1 minute. That's ridiculous for a fist. And then your stamina regenerates 150% faster. So your stamina regenerates even faster now by the fact that they already had a base stamina regeneration that was double the base of the normal races. So it's stamina regeneration if you use Pulse Rush goes pretty quickly. So I'm just going to test it. We're going to have a look at it. So we're going to use it. So we're going to get rid of some stamina. Right, see how far, and there you go. And it's back already. Bang, 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 and back already. You can see stamina regenerates stupidly fast. But that's not all. We also have an ability. They have an ability as well. So ethereal skin increases armor rating by 30 points. So you can just get a little bit of extra protection, even if you're not wearing anything that's actually armored. You still get 30 points of armor just because it's their skin. Unarmed strikes do an additional 20 points of damage. So even though their base damage for their fist is 50 points, they get an additional 20 points of unarmed damage on top of that, so it's 70. So when you double it, the basic strike is 140 points of damage if you use Pulse Rush. Then you add that into power attacks, which then multiplies that by another 2 or 3 times. You know, at least doubled, you know, it would at least be double the strength. Power attacks become extremely powerful. Increases disease resistance by 50% and increases magic resistance by 20%. So, yeah. If you're going to use this mod or play as a Tetra, yeah, your best bet is to literally just go around and punch the living crap out of everything. Weapons, swords, bows. Well, bows might still be useful against dragons, but swords, battle axes, war axes, who needs them? When you can just give everyone just a 1-2 knuckle sandwich. So that's it for the Tetra race. You know, this has been a bit of a long description of them. A bit longer than I was planning, but you know, there was quite a few things to cover. But for this mod, I will leave a link in the description below, and there you go, Pulse Rush is just right out. But yeah, so I'll leave a link in the description below to this mod if you want to give them a try out for yourself. There's no differences in abilities or spells or anything like that between the male and the female. They're exactly the same. Literally the only difference is one, females get extra lip colours whereas the males don't, and two is one's a male, one's a female. There might be some like differences like what hairstyles are accessible to you as well, but that's just based on what the game already has. But right, that's it for the Tetra race, or otherwise known as the mods otherwise known as Tetra Awoken. We are now going to move on, and I've got to find its location first. But we're going to move on to a place where I should be able to build my own Dwarven city. So this is create your own Dwarven city. Now I believe that this was uploaded by the Big King 1-11. But I think the original creator of this mod was M7, I believe. I might be wrong, I might be getting that wrong somewhere. But I think it was originally created by M7. Or at least, that's what I think the name of the modder was. But then was re-uploaded to PS4 by the Big King 1211. That's what I think, anyway. But either way, I will be leaving a link to this mod in the description below. So right, create your own Dwarven city. It's pretty much is almost basically what it says on the tin. It's basically you're going to build your own city. Now when you first get in there, there's no city. You know you have to build it. That's the whole point of it. So where do you find it on the map? You find it here. So you got Dawnstar, and you got a little marker here called Dwarven City. Lucky enough, the icon's already on your map, and you can fast travel there straight away, so you don't have to go around trying to find it, this, that, and the other, and la 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 la, and all that stuff. You can just go there straight away. So right, let's go and have a look in the Dwarven City. Alright, so I've moved it around the load order. I've just obviously saved it, quit, moved it in load order, restarted it, and basically got it near the top. So let's have a look. Merchant. No merchant. Alright. Mercenary. Nothing. Merchant. Nothing. Can I build a house? Make sure I've still got the house. Alright. So I've still got the house. So I'm going to imagine that the houses would be placed, as I said, placed on here and via this button. Okay, and what if I say drop the house? Yeah. I can't even get to the button now. Oh, just no. Oh, right. Drop it again. Right, and then press the button. No. Well, there you go. Do you like my house building skills? They're brilliant, aren't they? Okay, so I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or if this thing actually just doesn't actually work. Let's try some other ones. Nope. 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 No. Alright, so I'm going to call it here. I'm not going to bother too much with trying to carry on with this and trying to work it all out, because either I'm doing something wrong, which is not explained very well in the description, or this doesn't work. Though some aspects of it are working, but it is unfortunately some aspects are not working. And I'm pulling the levers there and nothing. I've created the house to be able to actually build the city and nothing. Apparently I need the Ethereum Forge to add ignorance to, but I tried it with them and nothing. So I don't actually know what's going on. So I'm just gonna say personally, but yeah, if the mod author is watching this, then please let me know in the comments below what I'm doing wrong, if I am doing something wrong, because I would like to actually have a go at this properly, but there's nothing in the description that explains how this is supposed to work. I'm going to assume is that you get the materials, you build a house, you get the house added to your inventory, you come to the button, you press said button, and then it takes the house out of your inventory and places it basically above this. That's what I'm guessing. But yeah, if I'm doing something wrong, let me know in the comments, and and then I'll come back to this and try and actually get it to work. If not, will I download this? Do I recommend this? No, not really. Am I going to put a link in the description for it? No, not really. I came here to build a city and all I can do is just carry too much shit. I'm quite disappointed with this one, to be honest. Even if it is that I'm doing something wrong, by the fact that it's not clear in the description on how you're supposed to get things to work, if there's a slight tricky way of getting it to work, it doesn't explain it. You don't get any help with it. You don't get any guidance telling you in a book or in the description how things work, and you just get absolutely no help with it. So, do I recommend this one? No. Would I download it again? Probably not. Would I? Isn't again? Yeah. There's gonna be no link in the description for this one. It's just gonna be in the video. Right. That's it. That's the end of the video. I'm out of here. See you later.